Let's turn our attention to Argentina. US tech billionaire Elon Musk has met with President Javier Milei, and Elon Musk has recommended investing in Argentina. President Javier Milei is also encouraging investors to consider investing in his country. Let's take a listen.
Hemos puesto hombres en la Luna y ahora miramos a Marte. Y lo hemos hecho gracias a la ambición, la creatividad y al optimismo de hombres como ustedes, que se asocian entre sí en pos de la búsqueda de la propia felicidad. No tenemos que perder la fe en esa ambición primal que los humanos tenemos como guía. Somos una especie de exploradores, de creadores, de inventores, no de burócratas. Y es el empresario aventurero, no el burócrata de escritorio, la clase de hombre que encarna en el presente esta cualidad atemporal del espíritu humano. Por eso no quiero dejar de celebrar el esfuerzo de mi amigo Elon Musk por pisar Marte, porque entendemos que la exploración espacial está a la altura de nuestro destino como especie exploradora, demasiado grande para estar confinados a este planeta.
And as we just heard, Javier Milei goes on to praise Elon Musk. They appear to have struck up quite the friendship.
Yes, they've already met several times, and I think Milei's speech and the content of the clip you just shared is completely commendable. It's very refreshing indeed to see a leader really defending free markets and the role of entrepreneurs and business people in society. And I think that's why people like Elon Musk are also optimistic about investing in Argentina. What I'm concerned about is maybe a gap between rhetoric and reality. You see in Argentina, for instance, they haven't gotten rid the Milei government hasn't got rid of exchange rate controls. They still controlling certain prices in the economy. For instance, we saw this with private health insurance providers, and they haven't dollarized the economy. So what we're seeing is you are seeing a sharp drop in inflation, but that is coinciding with a sharp drop also in industrial activity. So over 20% in March alone, according to very recent figures. So you are seeing a drop in inflation, but that's also coinciding with a contraction in the economy. And I think that if Milei had dollarized, as he promised at the beginning, instead of waiting or postponing it, you could have a very similar effect in terms of reducing inflation, but not having that in a contractionary phase, but rather have more of an expansion at this moment. So at least for me, I'm hoping that dollarization takes place sooner rather than later.
As you say, there is a bit of a gap between reality and what's being said, but what impact does it have, or do you expect it will have, on Argentina that you have people like Elon Musk saying, invest in this country?
Well, you're already seeing it in the markets. The bond market has rallied significantly, especially medium to shorter term bonds in terms of their maturity. Also, the stock market has rallied, and it's not only Elon Musk, Stanley Druckenmiller, the great investor, is also recently, I think yesterday, said that he had even bought 5 or so of the most liquid Argentine shares that are available on the US market. So I think there's a lot of credibility because he is going after the deficit. He is trying to reduce the debt, which is the main problem of Argentina, which is a serial defaulter. But I think also that a lot more needs to be done in terms of changing the monetary regime completely, as Milei promised to do during the campaign. Remember, he promised to dollarize the economy and shut down the central bank, and we haven't really seen any signs of that until now.
I have to ask you about this Brazilian UFC fighter. I'm not going to pretend that I watch or even enjoy UFC, but this clip is going viral because UFC fighter Renato Moicano has had this to say about his favourite economist.
I love America. I love the Constitution. I love the First Amendment. I want to carry and own guns. I love property. And let me tell you something. If you care about your country, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, mother.
Daniel, can you explain to us why this is going viral? What's your assessment?
Right. Well, I think this shows that even beyond Argentina, in Brazil, also in the last decade or so, there has been a tremendous rise in interest in libertarian ideas. So the fighter you were showing was recommending the work of Ludwig von Mises, one of the stalwarts of the Austrian School of Economics. So in both Brazil and in Argentina, and being as important as they are in Latin America, there's been a great interest, especially in Argentina with Milei. But in Brazil, I think even before that, there's growth in the movement and in interest by student groups. And there's been several articles trying to explain or to analyze the sudden influence of figures who a few months ago might have seemed obscure, like Ludwig von Mises or Friedrich von Hayek. And I think it's terrific news from a libertarian perspective to have these magnificent figures of libertarian thought and libertarian history figure prominently now in mainstream media debate. So I think it's definitely something to celebrate.
Daniel Raisbeck, policy analyst on Latin America at the Cato Institute. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Gabriella. It's a pleasure.